Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a fight that has been years in the making, a blood feud that has captured the imagination of the Australian sporting public during a bitter war of words as two famous surnames and two polarising figures have danced around each other without a punch ever being thrown. Well, finally and delightfully, we can now confirm that Tszyu v Zerafa is on, live on Main Event Television on Friday, January 16. The unique and undefeated prince of Australian boxing's first family faces the former world title challenger and self-styled bad guy of Australian boxing. It is Bad Blood, Nikita Tszyu v Michael Zerafa. Nikita Tszyu is the wild man. Wow. Here goes Tszyu. Right hand from Tszyu. There's a massive shot. Oh! Nikita, destroyer. No retreat, no surrender. Michael Zerafa. Zerafa looking very dangerous. Big shots from Michael Zerafa. Oh, big right hand. That was a bomb. Here he goes. Zerafa has more where those came from. To this side of the table, a 33-year-old from Melbourne. He's 34-5 as a professional. He's ranked as high as number 5 in the world at middleweight right now, a former world title challenger. Michael Zerafa, welcome, Michael. Great to see you again. How do you feel about the fact that it's now official? You are fighting against Tszyu and it's Nikita.
Yeah, look, I'm excited. Like George said, it's the biggest fight in Australia that can be made. To share the ring with Tszyu is going to be great. So, in 12 weeks, we'll go out there and put all the bad blood to rest.
There's been a fair bit go on in recent times. Did you ever start to doubt that this fight would happen? Did you ever decide at any point that you just didn't want to wait around any longer or you didn't want this fight?
No, not at all. Like, people need to understand, we're elite athletes. Things happen, people get injured. It's not like we go into a local gym and, we've rolled a wrist or an ankle and, the fight can't happen. We're training 5-6 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. Injuries do happen, car accidents. He was probably driving to the gym or to Coles or something and a car accident, no one wants that. No one wants to get injured. So, that's life. People need to understand that, things do actually happen, you know what I mean? But we're here now, and like I said, exciting times ahead.
And what do you think happens in this fight? Because you've had so long to think about it. I'm sure that you've pictured how it finishes. You have made comments about being levels ahead of your opponent in this fight, Nikita Tszyu. What does that lead you to believe happens?
Look, I never like to say too much about how the fight goes. Look, I do believe I win. I do believe that I am the more experienced fighter. I've been in there with bigger names and beaten bigger names. But look, there's no pressure on me. I'm expected to lose. That's why it says Tszyu Zerafa. I know that. there's no pressure on me. I lose, I go back to my business, and it's I told you so. Zerafa wasn't good enough. But the Tszyu legacy is on the line. For me, there is nothing. I rock up. I give it my all. If it's enough, I'll win. If it's not enough, I'll go back to doing me. But like I said, the Tszyu legacy.
Not a very confident kind of output.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, 12 weeks, we'll see. But like I said, the legacy name. Tim fell short. There's only one more to save him. Not many people get 2 chances at saving the last name. So this is your chance, brother.
Well, I was going to introduce him in a moment, but he needs to respond to those comments. This is the undefeated Nikita Tszyu, who's 11 fights and 11 wins, 9 KOs and 0 losses so far. He's ranked highly as well, as high as number 9 in the world at super welterweight. Well, Nikita, he's just said that you have the final chance to save the Tszyu legacy.
What's the question? What?
What's your response to that? Do you feel you go into this fight trying to save your family name in boxing?
Not really. No. I'm going in here to really rise to the occasion, to get onto that world stage properly, to beat someone who's had a lot of experience.
Nikita, are there any particular fights of Michael's in recent times that you've seen and you've thought, yes, I can beat him?
Well, in the moment, I didn't really fully see the fight because I was in the toilet, but the fight against Lara is a kind of a nice blueprint. Southpaw, I'm nowhere near the level of Lara, not at all, but he's showed the vulnerabilities in Zerafa's chin, in his style against Southpaws, and that's what I'm trying to capitalize on.
Michael, he's questioned your chin. I know you've questioned his at times. What would you like to say?
I mean, I definitely question his chin. I mean, he's been rocked out of his 11 wins. He's been rocked, I think, 10 of his fights, and nearly been stopped a few times by guys that aren't even the best light middleweights in their gym. But again, no disrespect to Nikita. It's actually credit to Nikita. You know, for someone that's having 11 fights to step up fighting me, I wouldn't want to fight me. I'm a bad man. You know, like, for credit to him and his team for stepping up, wanting to fight me, and may the best man win.
I gotta ask, what's with all this credit and stuff you're giving?
No, mate, look, I've got no bad blood with you. My rivalry was with your brother. There's no bad blood with you, and it's not even bad blood. It's just that competitiveness. Me and Tim were both number one. We're both in the.
No, but you've always been like this bad guy, and you've always owned the bad guy.
Well, because sometimes
what's the change?
Sometimes promoters need a bad guy, you know, and no offense to you, but you're not the best talker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And neither is your brother. So they kind of need me a little bit, you know? So that's why I play the bad guy and the villain and stuff like that. And if I walk past, I've got no bad blood.
So what's the change now? Why?
There is no change. I did it in my last fight. I was giving my guy credit. Before that, I was giving him credit. Lara, I gave him credit. The guy before that, I gave him credit. I wasn't a bad guy. When I need to be the bad guy, I can be the bad guy. But there's no need to be a bad guy with you. The date's there. There's no need. I generally say it, and you've heard when they ask me about your character, I wish you nothing but the best. Oh, I wish you a speedy recovery. I said, mate, things happen. I actually had your defense. I got nothing bad to say about you.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems a little deceiving because all the stories I hear about you, the way you communicate with people in the management, the people in the media, you bring off a very different kind of energy when you're being respectful.
I'm just being me. Like I said, you can take it, you can leave it. I mean, I can be a bad guy to you if you'd like, but I'm just being me. I don't need to hate you. Like I said, the date's there. We're going to settle it out. May the best man win. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope everything goes well. Hopefully no one hits you again in a car.
Nikita, anything along the way that he has said that has particularly upset you or offended you? Is there anything that he shouldn't have said?
I think it all started from the initial comments he made about my family, the disrespectful comments he made in the past, back when he was being the bad guy. The stuff he said about my dad,
Said he was a legend.
Well, the Mickey Haddon part, that was nuts.
Did you actually watch that did you watch the full interview?
Doesn't matter. Like, I saw that part, and you're going to bring out the Mickey Haddon. It was disrespectful. Yeah. These kind of things I can't really forgive. It's just who I am. I'm a very family-oriented person, and I guess that was the beginning of it all. That's where it all kind of started, because at that point you were meant to be fighting my brother, but those comments, they stuck with me, and now 5 years on, we're in this together. January 16th comes in, my mind will switch, and I can't have any more like remorse. I have to be that killer that wants to hurt someone, and it's the greatest way I could possibly do it, being locked in a ring with someone. So if I have as much time in there with him as possible, beautiful.
Michael, that's some of the darker talk that you've spoken about from Nikita previously. How do you feel when it's directed at you like it was then and like it has been in recent times?
I don't know, man. I'll say it. The sport needs him. He's strange. I mean, it's weird. But I mean, if it works for him, let him go doing his jungle boy stuff where he goes in his forest.
Well, why are you in this sport? Like, what's your motivating
when you were
factor?
drinking fucking warm titty milk, I was climbing the ranks. You were contemplating, do I want to box? Do I not want to box?
I was drinking warm titty milk.
That's what you do. You're on this.
I was drinking that like a month ago.
I'm still drinking. You're still on it.
Yeah, it's still on it. It's actually delicious.
You're still on it. Fucking Jesus Christ.
I'm in the ranks.
Look, it is what it is. I think the sport needs him. I think he does great things, to be honest. He's actually funny. He's got more of a personality than Tim.
The promoter, George Rose, in between them. So those are your details. Nikita Tszyu and Michael Zerafa will fight. It's Friday, January the 16th. It's live on Main Event Television. All the rest of the details are to follow. January 16, it is Tszyu v Zerafa. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Ben Damon and I'll see you at the fights.